So thank you all for being here for the glorious Sunday meditation. Thank you all for the energy that you bring. Thank you for being you in this place and space that we call now. So as we're moving up the chakras, we are talking about the throat chakra today. And it's such a vital part, as if we would place more importance on one than the other, but this is our ability to communicate. I think it is, I use the word vital because communication is how we ingather others, right? How we come and create the we-isms, right? And of course, psychology would tell us that the greater part of communication is nonverbal, body, face, the whole thing. But that part that is verbal, I think that it deserves some attention, some awareness. And it is wonderful when we can give attention to it and kind of fine tune it, because it just makes all the difference in the world. So the throat chakra also covers the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the teeth, the gums, the cheeks. All of this is part of the throat chakra. So when those things are out of alignment, then being aware and being connected to the throat chakra and sort of revibrating, re-energizing it might be what we want to do. So good morning to everyone who has joined since I started talking, and welcome. So we're going to talk a little bit about the throat chakra. My beloved Tree says, you're spending too much time on the turnaround. Just go ahead and give the people what they want. And so I'm going to do just that. We're going to look at a couple of slides, but it's not going to be our main theme. So I love your feedback too. Tree does not hold back. Marcus doesn't hold back. So don't y'all hold back. Let me know what works and what doesn't work, because this is about community. Yes. I'm going to assume that's a yes. So the throat chakra is the fifth chakra. The mantra that we're using today is I speak my truth and I listen. Because remember, communication isn't just about transmitting. It's also about hearing and receiving. So the focus is our integrity being our word. Don Miguel Ruiz would say, be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable. I was sharing with a group earlier this week. The word impeccable just comes out so glorious. I love saying it. Be impeccable with your word. So the throat chakra in alignment allows us to have open and clear communication, honest self-expression, be a good listener, and be comfortable in silence. When I first started learning these skills called therapy or therapist, one of the things I had to get really comfortable with was silence, because sometimes that's what you need to give people, that space to just do that. Be in the silence, right? When the throat chakra is closed, you might experience some mood swings, difficulty voicing your opinion, uncertainty or being scared of your truth, faulty or no communication. It's interesting, isn't it? Wouldn't you say that we're reviewing the throat chakra today because we're in the middle of retrograde, right? And so communications can often be, let's just say, askewed. Can we use that word, right? During this time. So us giving some energy or vibration to the throat chakra is going to serve us to our highest and best self. These are the questions we're asking ourselves today. What are you not saying that needs to be said? I was at Dr. Mark's a few months ago, and I kept We were talking, just having a gay old time as you do at Dr. Mark's. And then we started talking about a specific subject, and I started throat clearing and coughing. And he says, "Now, Sister Bahiyya, you have not coughed once since you've been here. So here's the question. What are you not saying that needs to be said?" And then, since we've already charged the heart, what would you say if you were speaking, and I'm going to add impeccably, from the heart? So thank you all. Let's turn into this space that we call now, right now. And let's move there with the breath. And so take that breath and move into the consciousness of now. And let's infuse this now community with love and peace and harmony. The vibration of everything working for my good. Can we infuse that right now? Will y'all join me in that? And then in this next breath, as you inhale, let's claim and reclaim the words that were not spoken, but can be the words that are spoken impeccably from the heart. So that when we speak to ourselves, to our neighbor, to our lover, to our friends, to our partners, to our community, that we are speaking the words of love, and infuse that into the room where you sit in this moment. And if you will, take it even further into the outer regions of all that you see in spirit. Yes. And then now, one more breath. I'd like for you to take your hands and place it on your throat chakra and take this breath. Hold it. And instead of releasing it through the mouth as we usually do, I want you to close the lips and om, om, and feel the vibration of that chakra begin to brighten in its vibrant blue color. And just feel that vibration of your om, the sound of your voice calling unto the name of God. And let it sit with you throughout this meditation. So relax your hand. And I'd like this meditation to be a series of considerations. And the first consideration is, do you impose your truth on others? Sit with that. We're talking about opening that throat chakra, that communication gate. So do you stand in the place where you must be right in the face of others? And if so, here's the invitation. I am open to allow others to express through their highest and best self. Allow it to resonate. Stay in the silence. Be in agreement. Say yes to it all. And the next consideration, do you not speak up enough? Do you fall silent when it's your turn to provide that healing word? And if so, here's the invitation. My word is a healing to all who would hear. And take the breath and let that resonate through the body temple. Let it rest in the throat chakra. And then sit in the silence of yes. And we would be remiss if we didn't include the great Don Miguel Ruiz. Are you impeccable with your word? Do you stand in your integrity when you speak? Is your line of communication filled and infused with love as you share with all that you speak to? I know that for a certainty for this group. And so we say, yes, it is true of me. I am impeccable with my words. As healers, you know that listening and talking are both of value. So here's the consideration. Do you listen? Fully listening, not waiting to engage in the next response, but do you fully listen before you share those impeccable words? Take a breath. Say yes. Let's engage in the yes consciousness today. Yes. Hold that in the throat chakra. And sit in the silence and allow it to be. In your next consideration, how do you talk to yourself? What's your inner dialogue? I shared with a client some time ago, if you talk to someone else the way you talk to yourself, you wouldn't have any friends. But I know that's not so for this group. But how could we even talk sweeter to ourselves? How could we have an inner dialogue that reflected the divinity within us? What would that look like? How could we remind ourselves on a daily basis that we are glorious children of the Most High God? Oh my goodness. What would that look like? How could we engage in the I am consciousness and daily create mantras that reflect the truth in our communication with us? How could we say yes to that? Take a breath as the answers come flooding into your consciousness even now. Sit in that. Allow the silence to be the answer of yes. And as we gather in this collective consciousness of re-engaging the throat chakra and all the yeses we have placed into the magic of the universe and all the agreements that we have collected among ourselves, individually and collectively. Can we do one more thing as healers? And can we include others in this healing circle that perhaps haven't come to the remembrance yet? And rather than to speak to them, let's send the vibration of a clear and vibrating throat chakra to them. And let their oversoul, their inner soul speak the truth that will set them free. How about that? Join? Yes? Yes. Yes. And taking a breath. Let's return to this now, this day, this moment, this engagement. Let us move back in the space that we call home or location. Let's move back into that sacred, beautiful temple that holds the very light and life and breath of God. And stepping in, remembering, yes, this is the me of now. Moving fingers and toes. Opening the outer eye, but remembering also the first eye. Giving thanks for the clarity of the throat chakra and the impeccability of you. And returning now, fully orbed. And so it is. Thank you all so much for your presence, for your energy, for your participation, for your yeses.